Hey, this is hit, pretty baby. This is hit, pretty baby. This is hit, pretty baby. Now, mess around and fall in love.
I'm in San Blas, and I have no idea what I'm looking at really, but it's a very old building that had two stairways going up. And one on this side. There's two rooms up there, but they're very small. And they appear to, I don't know, they don't appear to have much reason for being there. This is a museum, and there's a boat out here that she really wanted me to look at. That they, I don't know what the tree's doing in the middle of it, but this old building does fascinate me. There's what appears to be on both sides a fire or for I don't know. What the heck do I know? Interesting, huh? And then this building, which is very tall, out of brick, is connected to the museum. See? The museum is plastered over with the two pigeons sitting in there, and one of them over here. But if you look at the roof, you'll see the same brick structure. The floor is the original. And I would say so are the beams in the ceiling. Interesting. It's an art museum. It's dark in here, but hopefully it'll adjust. Okay, that's Picasso. And I love the way that the windows go in like that, and the height. I think that's so cool. Okay. Well, you can't really read that. Oh, I guess that's about it. Well, hi. I wanted to let you know a little bit of the history of this. After I videoed and went there and visited the site, I did some research and I found out that San Blas was very well known for boat making. In the Spaniards that came to America used that port because of the available wood that was around. and they got to build the ships there. That's why that lady was showing me that ship. That was the importance of it. Also, I found out that those two rooms that were up above, and why there were two steps, there was a person who stood in the middle, and a person walked up the stairs, depending on what they had, and they deposited gold into this room that I thought was a room, and that holder or kind of container uh, went the whole length of the or whole depth of the building. And that little thing at the bottom that I thought was for like a fire or something for cooking, that was where they retrieved or pulled it out to put onto the ships to go back to Spain. So there was a side for gold and there was a side for pearls, and that's what they shipped out of there. Um, Also, getting to sea bass, sand bass, is a very interesting thing in itself. And I'll show you some of that adventure later on. This is the fish. It's barbecued. It's served with vegetables, or that's what they call vegetables, and with rice. Okay, that's my half lobster, and Ken has his half lobster. And this, you need to see these. These are kinds of bananas that you cook, and they're so good that way. Hi again. With the food, there are all along San Blas, there's vendors or restaurants, and they have different spices that they put on these fishes, and they are basically all the same, but you go from place to place to place and talk to them and see what their prices are, and then wager one against the other and negotiate your meal. We had this fish that was absolutely heavenly, and it's cooked wonderfully with spices and on the barbecue and open fire, and the lobster, of course, also. That entire meal with the tip, with the beverages, which was lobster and fish and tortillas and, all that good stuff, that cost us $18 US dollars for both of us. This is the swampland, and here's the alligator, very close. There's also one out there. See if I can get closer to him. Right there. Just see the top of him. They like to sun. There he is. And then these are actually treetops. They are not islands. The birds like to nest in those. And there's another alligator out there a ways. This place is loaded with them. But as you can see, they aren't, running after people trying to eat them for dinner. But they are all over. He's just resting. Getting to San Blas is an interesting thing. You travel down a road, and on this side you will have swampland, mango protected area, mango trees in there, and that will be freshwater. And on this side it will be saltwater. Both have alligators in them and turtles and other wildlife. Now and then they do cross the road to get to the other side, but not often. They really are not a threat unless you threaten them. They are protected in that area, but the area is not fenced in with barbed wire or anything like that. The area now, the location of San Blas is now known as a surfing hotspot. Back before that, Lee Marvin went fishing there and made it known in America for the marlin, I think it was, fishing that he did there. And I think that's what it was. I'm not really sure. And the fish in San Blas is huge. Everywhere you go, you'll find fish. So it's before Lee Marvin, before surfing, it was known for the wood that was available there and the harbor, the safeness of it. The ships building there were used to travel on up into California by the Spanish missionaries that helped form California with the missions. So it has a varied history. However, because it is swampland, there are horrible, horrible mosquitoes there. It's not really a nice place to live during the summer months, which is the rainy season, and the humidity is so extremely hot there. But and that caused a lot of problems for the Spaniards when they were there. A lot of deaths occurred because of the malaria and other diseases brought by the insects. But today they do spray. However, it's in the rainy season. It's still miserable up there. So it's not a location people want to live in per se.
Here he comes.
He's being slow.
He is being slow. But there's no food in front of his nose. I bet you if we brought out some of that fish we just had.
Yeah.
No, we are not going to feed alligators.
No?
No, I don't think that's a good idea, Ken. So I don't know. Just something I don't feel comfortable doing. Look at the bottom half of him went down again, but just his head. And two others that were out disappeared underneath also.
Great.
Maybe we'll have alligator fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Ken. I don't know if you can see or not the egots way out there. See that mark, that white mark there? There's one over there. And those are treetops, not islands. Looks like this guy's just sitting still now. Maybe he just came over to see what these kids looked like for dinner, I don't know. But we gotta get home, so we're leaving.
No, I'm watching.
Nah, we can see the alligators at home.
No.
In the marina.